everybody. Thank you to my 1,653 subscribers. I am glad you are all here. Today's topic is going to be Newsmediademic. Yes, that's right, Newsmediademic. It amazes me that anyone would believe anything they heard on the news, especially mainline news media, after what we've gone through in the last 2 or 3 years. It also amazes me that anyone would believe what the government or any government institution would tell us through the mainline media news, but yet people still do. Excuse me. Kind of chokes me up just talking about it. It didn't used to be that way, but that's the way it is today. I heard yesterday, what was I listening to? Oh, about Andrew Tate. They had on there that he was sending messages to these girls asking if they thought he was a bad guy, that he didn't like hurting them, but he did it anyway, and just all this bull crap. Now, is that true? I have no idea. And guess what? You have no idea either. But people jump on that like, well, look, he's already saying, he's admitting he's guilty. He said this, he said that. Whether he's guilty or not, I don't know, and neither do you. Of course, not none of my subscribers, but the people out there that are saying, yeah, look, he does this, this, and that. We don't know much about anything as far as that goes. And when we get into the political realm also, of course, I have one side that I favor more than the other side, but even when they badmouth the other side and show clips of this guy doing things that seem ridiculous, I don't know whether to believe that or not. Because both sides have a tendency to be dishonest and lean it towards what they want you to think. And so much of it is for drama. Okay, so that's the problem. What is the solution? Shut the news off. If it's important enough, you'll know it. Because the news is more about, how do I say, it's more about getting you to watch and getting you to watch longer. It's like clickbait. They'll show you just a little bit of it. For example, the water you're drinking may be killing you. News tonight at 10. Well, that's the way it used to be. We used to have news in the 6 o'clock and at 10 o'clock, but now it's 24 hours. But they still use the same technique to get you to watch it. They want you to be afraid, and guess what? If you don't watch it, you don't become afraid. And if there's a devil, it ought to be fear. Because fear and doubt, because it causes more problems than anything else. Fear and doubt. Look what fear did the last 2 or 3 years. They used that fear to make billions of dollars. And people took the cure, not so much because they were worried about the problem, but the fear. They wanted the fear to stop. But the powers that be promised us that if you just took this cure, that would stop this problem. And then you wouldn't spread the problem either. And how well did that work? Let's look at what's going on today. Yeah. And now there's even more problems because so many people that took the cure are having heart problems from it and are passing away from it. So there you go. They created one problem and they gave you the solution, and now there's another problem. But it wasn't a problem for them because they made billions of dollars. And you could have avoided most of that if you just didn't watch the news. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the news. And I was never affected by it. I actually had a better 2 years in business than I'd had since I started back in 1985. As far as I know, myself and my 6 kids, none of us got the problem or the thing that was going around. I'm just not sure about that. I just know that I don't believe what I hear, and I didn't pay attention to it. I didn't go into follow the narrative and the agenda of the fear that was spread around the world. But think about this. Wars make billions of dollars. The war machine is a productive entity for making a lot of money. Now let's say we created an enemy that attacked the whole world. What are we going to do now? And then someone comes up with the cure to destroy that enemy. Well, at least they say they came up with it. the great Savior to save humanity, to save the people of the world from something that's just going to kill everybody. And then everybody flocks to get it. And once again, it's not like a war, but it's a war against this entity that's encompassed the whole world, that's going to destroy everyone. And whoever comes up with the cure is the Savior. Because people are so afraid that humanity is going to be wiped out. Doesn't matter if the cure works, but it cures the fear. It stops the fear and gives people hope. So that's the great army that's going to cure, that's going to kill the enemy. And everybody flocks to support and to take the cure. And look what's happened. First it didn't work, but just the hope of it working made people flock to it. Now, I'm kind of speaking in riddles here, but I think my viewers can understand what I'm talking about. So it wasn't like a war where people actually fought on the battlefield, such as World War II, where over 50 million people got killed. But it's similar. And now we have people dying that believed in this great Savior and followed their advice. So the only thing I can tell you is remember, when this happens again, and it will, in one form or another, don't be so ready to believe what they tell you on the news. Most of us would say that we don't believe it, but yet we fell right into it. Or some of us did. I know none of you guys did. We're talking about those other people out there, those people who are yet to subscribe to my channel. As I said, the solution, turn the news off. You don't need to listen to that. If it's important enough, you will hear it. During 911, I didn't listen to any of that. Occasionally, I would look at the headlines on the newspaper when I would go in the gas station, and I would usually regret that. One day I walked in and I saw a house that was wrapped in saran wrap because the news media had convinced people that we were going to get gas attacked over here. The Army surplus business during that time of 911 made millions of dollars. People were buying generators, they were buying this, and all because of the fear of the news media. None of it ever happened. And just like this last thing, I wonder if it hadn't have been so blown up, if it wouldn't have been just another seasonal sniffles and cold. And of course, for some people who are elderly, they would pass away, which is normal. That happens. We all have to go sometime. It's just a matter of time. None of us get out of this thing alive. So that's my message for today. Shut the news off. Don't listen to it. Actually, you're better off without TV. We don't have TV here, and we've managed to live without it for probably 10 years now. Isn't that amazing? So, have a great day. Take care.